So hello everybody, today is the 31st of August 2023. I'm Neelu Chaudhari. This is number 3 of 10 on the day that webs.com has announced that all these websites will be closed. So claimuk.webs.com. I'm on the Lloyds page now, the Lloyds Banking Group. So the link between mass murder and Lloyds Bank is proved by the case of my baby niece. And I will prove that now. The evidence is that Baby Sunaina, the evidence of her unnatural death was covered up by Coroner Elizabeth Stearns, Dr. Elizabeth Stearns. The marks on Baby Sunaina's face, the needle mark on her neck, the swollen face and the swollen cheeks and ear is all proof of an unnatural death, scarring on the face. And this blackness, darkness on the chest. So the potassium chloride was administered to her 3 times at the time of her death, and the dosages were written at 3 different times on the 25th and 26th of October 2000. None of this was in the coroner's evidence. And when she said that her baby died of natural causes, there was an overdose of ranitidine on the drug chart. This was not a natural death. Baby's face is swollen, and there was evidence of mutilation after the death. So various books were written by Dr. Akina Adoko, president of the Law Society of Uganda. This is Baby Sunaina's mother, my late sister, my younger sister, who is a victim of Lloyds Banking Group frauds since she took out a loan on the 17th of December 2003. Her name is not on the mortgage deed, but she paid interest on a loan when her birth trust funds were stolen from her secretly and securitized. The same for Dr. Akina Adoko's birth trust funds. He was born in Uganda and he studied in India, Calcutta. He's an expert in human rights. That's where human rights was taught originally. And these are his books that you can download. So we have The Most Corrupt British Judges. This is because Dr. Akina Adoko won the case against the Law Society for racial discrimination. You can also find this on YouTube as an 8.5-hour video on VPC1111. And then we have book number 2, which is Legal Case of the Century, which proved that perjury was overlooked by the UK courts against Jeffrey Archer. And then he was subsequently jailed for his perjury. So you can download that book for free from that website. And it's 137 pages. So these are top human rights advocates in the world, Dr. Akina Adoko and my late dad, Ved Prakash Chowdhury of Malika Hansin, now called Pakistan, but previously Northwest Punjab. Then, this is Who Killed Baby Sunaina. This is a criminal report by Dr. Akina Adoko about the criminal negligence, criminal acts of commission, criminal acts of omission, criminal cover-up, the accused, and conclusion And then he was made a vexatious litigant by the Attorney General, which is another criminal cover-up since he wrote the book. And he's brought this in the public interest. And the fourth free book on claimuk.webs.com is called Gigantic Perversions of British Justice, a case for a second inquest into Baby Sunaina's death, which is 60 pages long. And the reason why this case is against Lloyds Banking Group is because my late sister wanted her home to be a memorial for her baby, which then subsequently had evidence of the unnatural deaths or suspicious deaths of Dr. Okinodoko, who was a student of India, a law student, my late dad, my late sister, and my mother. So those 5 deaths are subject of Report 206 of the 18th Law Commission of India. And the theft of homes, my home on the 20th of July 2018, and my late sister's home here on this YouTube, Lloyds Rob 5 Baby Family Murders Memorial Home, with my arrest. And basically the courts at Romford County Court and the Central London County Court, they are conspirators in the mass murders and theft of homes of the murdered. And the criminal justice system of the UK has been hijacked by the county courts. And so any home in England can be stolen by anybody without any comeback, any criminal prosecution. That's the conclusion we've drawn. So the banks are criminally covering up the mass murders in public office in England with false arrests of whistleblowers like myself and Michael Melchizedek Moore on the 19th of October 2022. And these are the facts of the case against Lloyds Banking Group for mass murder and criminal cover-up or theft of homes from the murdered. The baby was denied disability benefits by Redbridge Council. She died under the protection of a family court and an arrest warrant by the police, issued by the family court and the magistrates' court. And the arrest warrant was used against myself and family members to prevent them from rescuing baby, who was being denied oxygen. She was being drug overdosed. She was isolated. And so these are the books and evidence regarding this death. These are the downloads. You can have these books, that one, and then this is the court proceedings in Delhi High Court that you can download. It's a decision of 2007, writ petition number 6179 of 2007. And then you have the report 206 of the 18th Law Commission of India, which is online as well. And it is under the Justice A.R. Lakshmanan, Chairman of the Law Commission of India, 10th of June 2008. And so this goes on about the suspicious deaths of Indians abroad will be investigated by India. And the India needs money for the magistrates' courts to be set up in all the states of India. I've just noticed my great-great-granddad, Bhagwan Das, is mentioned here. There's a road in his name. And his son was Sri Prakash, who was on every rupee that was printed in India. That's my great-granddad. So that report is all about Baby Sunaina, all about her death, all about the criminal cover-up in the UK. And it asked the police of the UK, to Metropolitan Police, to reinvestigate the death properly. And since then, we've had 4 other deaths of whistleblowers and family members, and Dr. Akina Doko's, which then becomes subject of this report as well. So this is an international case. This is the top case in England. And this is about 5-month-old baby Neelu Chaudhari, who died in the UK very suspiciously, and there was a criminal cover-up by the coroner at Walthamstow Coroner's Court and the police, Metropolitan Police. We then look at the case against Lloyds Banking Group in the Criminal Appeals Court in February 2020 as to how was it that I was arrested on 19th of October 2022 when the bankers were jailed in 2017, and their appeal was considered by the Criminal Appeals Court in 2020. So 2017 to 2020, and then 2022, as the bank continued to steal from the dead, from the murdered, for my late sister's home, which she wished for it to be a memorial home for her baby, falsely arresting me, nearly ending my life, making me homeless. How is it that this bank did all of that, all of those frauds and all of these crimes of fraudulent trading, money laundering, human trafficking and debt slavery by pretending that there were arrears when this was my sister's birth trust fund stolen. Her name was not on the mortgage deed. My late dad, the co-owner, was on a life policy which had the wrong name for him and my late sister. So those policies could not have been invoked twice. So the precedent of the insufficient deterrent proves that the criminal justice system in the UK is unfit for purpose. It is shattered, and these money laundering of 200 billion per year is ongoing, and criminals are running the financial system. Whistleblowers are being mass murdered. Children murders are not being investigated at all, and the local authorities are routinely denying benefits to whistleblowers and the murdered. So the equity lawyer Edward William Ellis has also been jailed, kidnapped from the Royal Courts of Justice on the 3rd of May this year for assisting the case of Baby Sunaina since 2016. And he has had mental health frauds attempts on him on over a dozen times. Myself at least 6 times. This is typical criminal cover-up and conspiracies in the UK. This is the main website for Baby Sunaina, sunaina2007.tripod.com. It's about the organ scandal in the UK. Mutilation of babies for their organs. and then criminal cover-up and theft of their evidence of their murders in the UK. This is still ongoing, 23 years now. So England is a very dangerous place for anyone who is honourable, whistleblower. This is Sunaina2009.tripod.com. So there's 2007, 2008, and 2009. This is Sunaina sitting up hours before her sudden death. This is evidence of mutilation and bruising on her face and suffocation marks on her face. As of 6th of July 2023, Lender Services, Walker Morris LLP are acting under Lloyds Banking Group, Halifax, Bank of Scotland, to steal from my late sister the memorial home, which has evidence of 5 family murders inside it, to destroy that evidence. And this is why Lloyds Banking Group must be dissolved, all its assets seized for victims of murder and robbery and their families. So if you want to access these websites from archive.org, you type into the Wayback Machine the old web's address, and that should bring up the archived. So these will not be updated, but as they are today, that's how they will be. Sorry, that's wrong. Claim UK. So Claim UK has been saved 2 times since July the 10th. Then we go to these dots, the last dot. That is July the 10th. Then we'll go to the snapshot. Save page now. Just save the page now. So we're going to press save page now, save page, and that should save it. And so you can always find it. So swissindo.webs.com, claimuk.webs.com, icj13.webs.com, icj3.webs.com, icj2.webs.com, gdpr2016.webs.com, all to one, that's ALLTO number 1.webs.com, and mfn99.webs.com, that's Multi-Faith Network. icj13.webs.com, icj3.webs.com, icj2.webs.com, ocj2.webs.com, mfn99.webs.com, all21.webs.com, bdpr2016.webs.com, SWISSINDO.webs.com, mc1215.webs.com, bacsdd.webs.com,